Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a pick a card reading for your career. So many of you guys lately have been asking me about your career and wanting to pick a card reading for this. So here it is. I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any further questions or you want a reading that's specifically for you, check out my account, my website, promiseharmony.com/services. And there you can see my prices and everything and the services that I offer for personal readings. So check it out, and thank you guys once again for all of your support. All of the support that's coming in for these personal readings is allowing me to continue to make free content for you guys on this channel. So thank you guys once again. This reading is actually supported by the Rainbow Harmony followers that have supported my work. So thank you to all of my sponsors for this reading. So let's get started. Number one, so you choose a card, you choose a stack of cards, hold in mind your question about your career, and you're going to choose a number 1, number 2, or number 3. You can also choose a crystal if it's easier for you, whatever crystal you're being guided to. This is blue lace agate, number 1. Number 2, quartz. And number 3, amethyst. So if you choose number 1, we're going to get started. And I will be drawing some cards from my other decks as clarifiers, but you guys know how much I love this Wildwood deck. So what I'm seeing first is that you're definitely going through some healing right now in this area of your life. It's been a good time for you to kind of take a pause, to be able to rest, and to be able to expose some of your deepest fears and core wounds. You guys have to realize that your root chakra is actually your center of abundance and money. It rules your career. But your root chakra also stores your core wounds, memories from your childhood, memories of, divorce or breakups or heartbreaks or just things that have happened to you, times you've been bullied, times you've been abused, times you've been put down, times things didn't go your way, traumatic incidents. And as humans on this earth, especially in this society, with all the stigma against depression and mental health, we tend to push these traumas deep down, especially in the moment when we're going through it, because it's like a survival mechanism to kind of convince yourself this isn't happening, this never happened, and life just keeps going. We keep having to make decisions and choices to move forward, and that's good. We don't want to dwell. We don't want to ruminate on things that have happened, but at the same time, there's a point in our life where we have to face the things that have happened. So therapy is a really great way to face those things. Meditation, tarot. I love tarot. It always keeps me real when I draw a card that's telling me I need to face something. I have an anxiety or I have a worry. And so the root chakra does have to do with feeling stable, feeling abundant, feeling like you have a purpose here and a mission here, trusting that you'll always be supported. And truly letting go of that fear of where your next meal is going to come from and fear of where the money is going to come from. So right now it's like you're working on that, and I think the universe wants you to know that there are actually people that are going to come in your life that are going to help you move forward in your career. I didn't know this, it was so scary for me personally, thinking about having to go out into the world alone, and trying to make my way into a career. Especially for me in my situation, I didn't have a traditional college education, and you guys all know, I tell this story all the time, I wanted to be a fashion stylist. And so I trusted in my intuition. I had these visions. I made a vision board, which I highly recommend that you guys do. I made a mood board on Pinterest and posted pictures of fashion and styling and LA, the place I wanted to move. And there came a time where I saved up and I was able to move to the city. Then I got to this point where I was like, wow, I need connections, I need people, and the universe actually sent people onto my path. Now, I was called to take action, to make an Instagram account, to share my work, to go to certain parties and certain events where I knew there would be fashion people, and to take that risk, just despite my anxiety, despite my depression, to just get out there and do it. But there were also people that literally just found me and came from out of the blue. And I call these people my earth angels. They came and they offered me help and support. Even some people offered me money and paid for my services. Connections, designers offering their clothes, makeup artists offering to work for free with me because they just wanted to support my work. It was just incredible. So just know, if you have a goal in this area of your life, you're not going to have to do it alone. There's actually people that have been appointed to come into your life to help you. And I do see you're going to soon be reunited with your soul family. And there's actually a particular person or even a group of people who might be a part of this journey. Maybe you go into the interview and you find out that you have something in common with the person who's interviewing you. Maybe it's nothing that's said, but maybe you guys just have this recognition. Maybe it's possible that you had a past life with them or something, and this person instantly takes a liking to you and decides to hire you for the job. So you have to realize that this isn't random. Life is orchestrated. We do have free will that we can exercise, but at the same time, there's certain things that are orchestrated before we came down here, and you're going to flow into them no matter what. So even though right now you're resting, maybe you're unemployed or you're between jobs or you're exhausted from your job and you're healing and you've got this trauma from your past and you're trying to face it, just know the best way to align yourself with money and abundance is to literally meditate and clear out your root chakra. When I went to my psychic and I asked, how do I get more money? My psychic was just like, clear out your root chakra. It was really vague, and so I started researching the root chakra. That's when I realized, oh my God, that makes sense. This is like your connection to stability, to feeling present in your body. And I just went on YouTube and I searched root chakra clearing meditation. And I did like a different one every day. And these meditations guided me to be thankful, guided me to confront some of the trauma I had. I was even guided to do therapy so that I could kind of face some things I had been letting go of. And I was realizing, like, I had this fear of the other shoe dropping. And sometimes I still have this fear. In my past, there were times where things were taken away from me by the people that abused me. There were times that I was helpless. But once I realized, like, okay, like, I'm an adult now, I'm not helpless. I can make my own choices. I'm creating my reality. And furthermore, I have this beautiful unseen force of the universe helping me and working alongside me. I'm co-creating with it. I realized I am stable, I am abundant, I am protected. And I started looking back and realizing, even through the darkest times, I still had, food. I still had a nickel in my pocket. I still had bus fare. It's little things. I still had clothes on my back. And so gratitude is part of this, learning how to just be grateful for what you have, and also taking things day by day. Because when you're in the process of trying to get a new job, it's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to fill out the resume. You're going to have to apply. Maybe you're taking the entrepreneur path and you're starting your social media, you're getting your product ready. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take work, and there are going to be people that are going to come along and help you, but you're just going to have to keep going. And at a certain point, you got to have goals and visions for the future, but you also have to just let that go and surrender and be open to the infinite possibilities. And just take it day by day, because right now in this day, you might not have evidence that everything's going to work out. So that's going to lead you to worry and anxiety and fear. Confront that, but know that it's going to work out because it has to. This is not the end of your story. So I am seeing a message that you need to get out. You need to get out of your cave. You need to get out of your house. You've been given guidance to go out there, shake hands, put your resume out or meet people, network. Maybe put yourself out there on the internet, start your project, whatever this is. And this is going to require you to let go of things. Maybe you need to start working on moving out of a current job. It's like going to mean the death of an old situation and the beginning of something new. So maybe some of you guys are actually now focusing on your career because you've left a relationship and now you have a lot of energy that's going towards your personal goals. Some kind of death I'm seeing here. It could be physical, it could be metaphoric, but they're just saying maybe this situation is a death for you because it's uncertain. You want this job, you want this new position, and you're tired, you're broken down, and you feel like there's no way out. And you're going to have to confront the past. I do see the clearance card here, once again talking about meditation, telling you not to ignore that your root chakra is connected with this, and spending time clearing that. Even seeking professional help and therapy could be part of this. Once again, if you're looking for a job, though, you don't have money, that can be rough. But if you've suffered any kind of abuse, if you Google on the internet, there's in your town, perhaps there could be free therapy for people who've been through abuse. I got free therapy, and it really helped me clear out my root chakra and start manifesting awesome stuff into my life. So realize that as within, so without. If you want to manifest a beautiful reality, you need to really work on your inner condition. And if you're carrying around old wounds and old baggage and old trauma, and you're seeing your life through the vision of that, it can be very difficult to be able to move forward and feel confident in yourself, and you could be self-sabotaging. So this is just saying, like, you got to let go of some of those old thought patterns, and maybe the situation you find yourself in, specifically in work right now, is really difficult for you. So let's go ahead and read this death card. This card is called The Journey, and it says, "It's time to face the inevitable, to let the bones be laid bare and acknowledge the deepest aspects of your fears and desires. Do not fear change, because this is also a time of purification and realignment. This change may seem extreme and destructive, but old crops must be cleared for new growth to thrive, and static or sterile modes and concepts must perish. A celebration of the past or an acknowledgement of the passing of one part of life may be required. Let the threads of the old slip from your fingers with joyful remembrance, and enter this time of withdrawal and renewal with patience and calm." So yes, withdrawal and renewal is totally what you're going through right now. But then I see joy, I see happiness. I think this has to do with the people that are coming into your life. And there's a message not to wait, to put yourself out there. And just some ways I know personally, like if I was going to try to get out there right now and meet some new people and expand my network, I would probably, and you might be guided to do something different, so trust yourself and your intuition, but these are just some random things that are coming to me. There's this app called Meetup, and you can use that to meet people, and they have people who are meeting up for yoga, people who are meeting up for potlucks, vegan food potlucks, whatever it is. They have people who are meeting up to practice acting, or to do like a writer's circle, or people who like to just go on bike rides or hikes or anything like that. So that's a really great app. Also, joining a class, if you're being guided to do like painting or pottery or writing or something creative, is a really good way to get connected with people. You can also ask any of your friends that you really resonate with if they want to get some of their friends together and all go out to dinner or go out for coffee or something, just to see if you might be able to expand your circle a little bit. You can also, ask somebody to hang out from work, or start an account online and start getting people together. So just some random ways. I have artistic gifts and skills. Like I've literally slid into people's DMs and been like, "Hey, I have this skill. Do you need it for anything? Do you need an extra hand behind the scenes on your photography project? Or do you need a stylist?" And that's a way I've made friends too, is just by offering my gifts. So they're just giving you some ideas to be able to get your gifts out there, get going. I also see that your home could be changing. They're saying you need to face your fears. You might be called to move somewhere for this new job. And maybe you need to do some clearance work so that you can start attracting more abundance to you and being able to like listen to your intuition more. I do see you having to work maybe in a job that you don't really like in order to be able to move to this new place where there's more opportunities. Similar to, I always use myself as an example, you guys, you know that. Similar to kind of how I did when I was living in a small town. I was actually working as a swim teacher, and I saved up money through that job to be able to move to LA, where I would have more opportunities to be around artists and be around more stylists and photographers and stuff like that. So it was scary for me, small town girl moving to the big city, and so maybe you're in a similar situation. This could also talk about the fear of losing your home, maybe with the bills and stuff piling up. But they're just telling you you're going to have to face those fears and realize that comes from a deeper trauma inside of you. And soon, like as you work through this, you're going to start becoming more comfortable with the uncertainty of life, and you're going to learn how to embrace the mystery, and you're going to learn how to have more faith, and you're going to become humbled and realize that the universe has always got your back. And if this death cycle happens and it starts taking stuff away from you, usually it's because you're about to manifest something even greater. I do see this rebirth coming for you. You've changed a lot, and now you're realizing that this old situation is no longer serving you, and so you're having to let go of it. Maybe this line of work you've been in for a while, and it's because of your rebirth, it's because of your spiritual awakening, and you're realizing you have more desires, and you want to connect more with people on a deeper level. And there's just so much talking about getting in a group of people, your soul family coming, a new environment in your job, in your career, where you can really connect with others. Because I just feel this sense of loneliness coming from you guys that picked this card. So all in all, they're telling you to stay dedicated to your current path. I don't see that you need to make any major decisions right now, but just be aware that you are being guided to make some changes, to make some friends, possibly to move somewhere, to change your line of work, to think about brushing up your resume and putting it out there again, and taking your own journey. You might have to go alone, move from the community and the people you've been around for so long. But I see so much happiness coming. I see a lot of happiness, and I do want to read this wolf card, the King of Stones. Let's see if I can get it. King of Stones, the wolf. My partner makes fun of the way I say wolf. Apparently, I don't say it right. Maybe this is talking about a particular person you might meet, like someone you have the opportunity to do an interview with, or a boss. This is a very experienced and mature person with the traditional mindset. This person is going to offer you a really secure and comfortable and reliable job. This is a very good businessman who understands value and profit. This is someone who is a friend and is a good financial advisor. This person can be very blunt, but it's like you rather have someone be direct with you than maybe the situation you were in before, where there was a lot of stuff being said behind your back at work, or not feeling like you were really connecting, and not a lot of communication happening for you. And they're saying that you will be given financial support. This is a financial support card. It's talking about loyalty, good health, determination, and life offering you its riches, basically. So let's go ahead and pull a final action step card on like what you can do to make this situation and your career situation better. Well, I do see the Tower, and that's very similar to this death card here. It's like something crazy has kind of happened. I don't know, like once again, I'm getting the sense of like unemployment, or you lost your job, or you're at your breaking point where you're at. And so it's making me think like they just really want you to go with the flow here, and know that like you're being pushed into another situation. This is the crisis card, and it's saying through this crisis, you're actually going to encounter some revolutionary ideas. So don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle. There's people coming into your life. There's ideas that are going to come into your head. And you felt very unstable, and things are breaking down around you. But remember that the breakdown always comes before the breakthrough. There's going to be energies that are going to be released. You might find yourself very emotional during this time, but as the old rules no longer apply, the old routine of your life isn't really there anymore. So this is actually allowing you to be liberated, and allowing you to make some new decisions, and to be able to choose a new path. Sometimes we don't choose a new path until the universe does kind of force our hand a little bit. I'm also seeing craftsmanship. They're saying if you're prepared to learn as you work, attending to all details lovingly, your work will achieve great results. Right now it's time for you to be skillful and grounded, and you will become a craftsperson, doing work for its own sake and not for speedy gain and for the profits of others. As you go about your task, think only about what you're doing, not about the rewards you expect as a result of your labors. This will lead to serene contentment. So they're saying you will encounter, you're going to manifest the skill and the dedication and the attention to detail and the quality results of a skilled craftsperson. They're saying avoid perfectionism right now. Just think of the task at hand. And to, like, right now you're kind of finicky, but they're wanting you just to make a decision and choose a path. So I hope that this resonates with you. I'm sending you so much love and light. Look at this happiness card. Look at all these people that are coming into your life. Things are definitely looking up. So let's go ahead and choose the next one for you guys. Number 2, the quartz crystal. Number 2. So, what I'm seeing here is that you really want to move towards a specific goal. You're very passionate about something, but you're worried, is this actually going to be lucrative? Am I actually going to be able to support myself through this? I guess that's kind of how I felt through doing tarot. I really had this passion. I wanted to do tarot, but I had another job and I was worried, like, am I going to have enough energy for this? Is it going to be worth it? What's the point? Are people going to think I'm crazy? What are people going to think when they see my channel and they see my Instagram? I even blocked a ton of people that I knew when I started my Rainbow Harmony Instagram because I was like so afraid of who was going to see like all my spiritual posts. So maybe this is where you're at, where you're just like, I want to start this thing. I want to be a singer, or I want to really take a new step in a new career path, or I really want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to be a fashion designer, or whatever. I want to sell crystal jewelry or something, but I'm worried what people are going to think. And it's like you're worried of starting at the bottom. You have this fear of people seeing you start at the bottom, you know, only having one follower, putting your stuff out there and then no one ends up buying it, scared that it's just going to be a waste of time. And I think there's this message coming out telling you, first of all, you're safe and protected at all times. You're going to continue to keep a roof over your head. The universe is going to make sure you're supplied for. And there are unseen forces that are working in your life. You have to remember that the reason that you desire this thing, whatever it is because you were meant for it. You were made for it. I felt really silly my whole life really dreaming about this fashion stuff when I thought, you know, there's children starving in Africa and there's all these people that need help and I knew I wanted to help people, and I thought, you know, what's the point of being a fashion stylist? I thought it was so frivolous and kind of ridiculous, and people judged me for it, definitely, and even told me I couldn't do it. But fast forward many years later, I'm actually doing this. I finally got the guts to follow my heart, and I was actually guided to do sustainable and ethical fashion and eco-fashion, which is very important right now. It's helping the planet. And I really do believe I can make a difference through this. So whatever this is, you might not know the reason why you want to do it. It might seem dumb to some people. You might think, wow, maybe I should just be a doctor or something, or maybe I should just be a lawyer. Shout out to all you doctors and lawyers out there. I love you guys. But maybe you are thinking you should choose a more traditional path, like an office job or something more like secure. And now you're worried because your heart is pulling you in this other direction, but you can't get the courage to start. And it's actually funny to me because the most secure path you can choose is your desires and is your dreams, because there's a reason you desire it. You were meant to do it. You were born to do it. You probably have many specific talents and gifts that have lined up to kind of push you in this direction. There's probably been many signs. The fact that it keeps coming up to you is definitely a sign. And you have to realize that money flows where your energy and passion goes. So if your energy and passion really isn't in being a secretary or in doing office work, you're going to be miserable, and there's only so much money you can make there, and the energy around your life might not really be cohesive for you to be able to manifest the things you want. So just try taking steps forward on this and start to see all the beautiful energy and blessings that it brings into your life, and realize that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. You might have to work a job part-time and do this on the evenings and in the weekends. And it might be, you know, some hard work, And you might work for many, many years at this and not even make money. But it's actually going to be fun. And that energy is going to bring some beautiful things into your life. And after a while, you'll just get so in the flow with it that you'll just keep taking steps and you'll keep going. And bam, one day that check is going to fall in your lap, you know, finally getting paid to play your piano music in a concert hall, or finally getting paid to be one of Beyonce's backup dancers or something. Whatever this is, you know, I really do believe you can make it, especially after all my time hanging out in cities around the art scene and around different artists and creatives and hearing their story. And the one thing that really stood out to me from all the people that ended up becoming successful, making money off of their artwork and being creative and off of their healing services, was that these people just had a passion for it and they just kept going. They were willing to give their gift for free in the beginning and to take every opportunity they could. They were willing to wait tables or to you know, work different jobs, sometimes 2 or 3 jobs, in order to just to be in a certain place to have an opportunity. And it's just amazing talking to people like that, hearing from them. Even people who came from wealthy backgrounds and had all the money to go to a school and had the connections and had the people, even those people had to work and had to wake up and had to show up every day and had to blow off their friends who were partying to be able to like commit to this thing. So it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are, we all kind of share in this same struggle of following our dreams. It's never really handed to any of us, even if it appears like that for some people. It isn't. And so this is a message for you to grind towards your goals here, and to really double down on your gifts and your talents, and to know, yes, you will be supported, yes, money is going to come, and release all the thoughts in your head that you can only be secure if you work this kind of job, or you can only be provided for if you're doing it this way. That might just be what your society has told you, what your friends have told you, what your family has told you. But the truth is, this is an unlimited universe. There's many ways to make a living and to follow your career. And you might as well pick something that you love. It doesn't matter how old you are, what the situation is. I'm so inspired by people who have made new careers for themselves. Have you guys ever seen that meme that said at 24, Oprah was fired from her first TV host job, Tina Fey was working at the YMCA, I forgot some of the other people, but basically, don't freak out, especially if you're in your 20s watching this. It's definitely not too late for you. Those of you guys are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, I still believe in you guys too. But especially if you're in your 20s, you have an incredible opportunity. Now is the time to take risks. Now is the time to do something crazy and to just go for it. And if you're not in your 20s, you can still take risks. You can take calculated risks, and you can start over any day. So what I'm saying here is that you've got to follow your passion. You know what this is. It's time to take a step. You've been through a lot of shit. This could be talking about a breakup. This could be talking about someone who's been holding you back, maybe an issue with your father figure in your life, being absent or being strict with you. It could just be talking about a really difficult path. And there's this message for you that you want to be free. You want to free yourself from the man. This could even just symbolize the man and like being chained to your desk and being stuck in this routine. And you want to free yourself, but you haven't been able to focus on this because up until now there was a lot of shit happening left and right that was distracting you and taking your focus, and you were just on damage control and in survival mode for a while. But I actually do see the tide is turning here. This bird is such a beautiful card. It's saying the winter you were going through, that chaos you were going through, that was a cycle in your life. You learned from it, but that's ending actually. And the snow is thawing and you're able to get your footing and look ahead to what the future has for you. So I tell everybody this in almost all my readings, make a mood board, make a vision board of what you want in your life. Pin or clip out pictures of the images that remind you of the kind of life you'd like to live. And if you scroll back a couple times on my channel, just a little bit, you'll see a video called How to Make a Vision Board. And I give you guys a whole tutorial on it. It's very powerful. It's a great way to manifest. Sometimes we just need to get a clear picture of what it is we want before we can move forward. And you might have this dream in your mind, but it's probably kind of loose. And then you're going on trying to worry and predict and control things, and our ego's freaking out and we're afraid. And so a lot of times we're sending out these mixed messages to the universe. So having a clear picture and a clear intention helps, and the mood board, the vision board, is a great place to kind of anchor this down. I also see to have respect for yourself. You've learned a lot through this journey, and I'm actually going to read this respect card to you. 9 of Bows. See if I can find it. Here we go. All right. Whether you volunteered for the task, oh wait, wrong one. To follow the path through the wildwood is not without its challenges and demands. And in this deck, the wildwood is actually kind of a metaphor for life, like the path and the journey of life. So to follow the path through the wildwood is not without its challenges and demands. When entering any such environment, one must be prepared to face the dangers and natural perils that abide there. Having empathy for the environment and being ready to deal with it respectfully and in a practical manner is to learn another lesson and take away fresh insight. If we look deeper for the meaning in the forces blocking our way, we often see how we have contributed to the problem and how we attracted those negative energies through lack of self-discipline or mistakes made in the past. The sign of an evolved spirit is someone who can acknowledge past failures or defeats without bitterness and self-torment and move forward through life with a positive outlook and wisdom gathered through each struggle. This card reminds us to treat the challenges of life with patience and compassion, marking each scar or each wound suffered during the struggle as a badge of honor, earned and overcome by inner courage, dedication, and faith in the lore of natural justice. So it is kind of a message, justice is coming for you, and this path you walked, you might feel like you have regrets. Maybe you're upset because you feel like you let your youth pass you by when you could have done this or you should have done that. And you need to realize everything has happened exactly the way it's supposed to. You feel like you've just been waiting for the longest time, trying to put out these fires, not having even a second to be able to focus on these talents and gifts. But they're saying you need to carve out this time for yourself. For me, it started by waking my butt up early in the morning, which is extremely hard for me. Drawing myself a cup of tea and working on my mood board and working on my vision board and doing yoga and praying and writing my gratitude and doing my chakra clearing meditations and just really starting to spend more time on myself before I went to work. And this helped me to get a really powerful energy around me. And then when I would come home, I would eat, and then I would rest a little bit, and then I would go to work. And at the time I was writing for all these fashion magazines, so I would write, and I would go on the internet and I would look up jobs and I would look up people who needed free writers, and I just contributed and I just kept going. So this is about you realizing, yeah, maybe you've contributed to this issue of the stress in your life, and it's time for you slowly but surely to choose a new path. I realized that I had been in a job that was extremely stressful, extremely demanding, tons of gossip, negative energy, people who were just really low vibe. There were things about it that I liked. I got to work with children, but I had to respect myself enough to be able to pull myself out of that and dream a bigger dream for my life and tell myself, you know what, this stops now. I'm going to start working every day towards getting to this new place. And it was hard, it was an uphill climb. So they're saying it might be even more exhausting now on top of this job you have, trying to find a new path. But you will get there. That is a message. You will get there. Continue to handle your responsibilities. This isn't a message to take a risk, like just quit your job and, do something crazy. Sometimes I see that in the cards for people, but for those of you guys that chose this one, I'm seeing it's little by little, step by step, day by day. So let's go ahead and get you guys an action step. Knowing all this information, what can you do right now to be able to move forward towards your passions and your dreams, to make your career path something that's really meant for you? Ooh, we're getting some beautiful cards. I love the sun. 7 of Wands. I see this as you need to do this and then this will happen. So 7 of Wands. This card is all about courage. So it's saying, you really need to stand by your beliefs and by your values. Don't be afraid to personally defend what you need to defend in your life. So you might want to make another decision, but there's people around you, I'm seeing, that might not understand. And so this is a message for you to just keep to yourself, maybe not tell other people about this new life path that you're going on. Because I tried, back when I was working that job, I tried to tell people this isn't what I really want to do. I'm a fashion stylist. Like, I want to help people. I'm a healer. And these people would just laugh at me, or they would try to hold me back and tell me like not to quit my job and don't give up this security, and why don't you just come out and party with us? Like, don't work, you don't have to do all that work. And why are you working for free? Are you really getting paid for that? And I can still hear these voices in my head. And I think it's because I was just oversharing too much about my plans. And so they're telling you, keep your plans close, keep your plans tight. Don't tell anybody what you're really working toward. Eventually, when you get there, you can share with people your success. But right now, people just aren't going to understand. And it's frustrating and it's sad because we get so excited when we have a new idea. But it's better to just keep it to yourself, and in that way kind of defend and protect this little baby, that you're nurturing of your passions. I also see you need to trust your judgment and trust your intuition and believe, even if the situation looks forbidding, because it's almost like he can't get out. Everyone's coming at him from all different directions. They're saying even if the situation looks forbidding and difficult, you are going to know how to handle this. Remember that the difference between a hero and a heroine and a coward is that the former goes forward in spite of fear. So they're telling you to go forward in spite of fear. You're going to learn what courage really means. And you might have to be willing to go at it alone, and assert yourself. Hang on, I'm going to turn on the light. It's getting dark. I'm so excited that the sun is finally going down. It was hot as hell over here today. So the sun, this is a beautiful card. This is the most positive card in the entire tarot. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's saying, if you can do this, then you're going to enter a period where everything looks sunny and bright. Love and friendship and gifts are going to be coming to you. Your creativity is going to be heightened. And you might even end up moving somewhere that's like a warm or sunny climate if you're not already living somewhere like that. I do see a travel card here. This was talking about freedom, but this is reversed. It could be saying travel could be coming to you in the future if that resonates. And basically, this is telling you that you're going to realize that you're an artist, and it's time for you to become more dynamic and inspiring. And you might even become an influential leader and someone who shines their light. So they're saying it's time for you to show the world who you are. Express yourself so that all whom you encounter can feel your warmth. I'm sending you so much love and light with this reading. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 3, the amethyst, let's go ahead and get your cards. Seems like everybody's really being called right now to take a new path, which is interesting because maybe that's why so many of you guys have been asking about your career, because you're just feeling this shift. Jupiter has been retrograde, and Jupiter usually rules career. It has to do with new beginnings and expansion and money and prosperity. But as you guys all know, Jupiter's been retrograde for quite a few months. It is moving direct on July 10th. So right now we're in the middle of this big shift of this planet in a couple weeks, about to go direct. And so things are going to be moving forward really fast. During this transit, I'm feeling like you've been facing your insecurities. You've been really nervous to take this next step. You're comfortable where you are, is the message that I'm getting, and you fought hard to get here. Finally, you're in this stable, predictable situation. But predictable isn't always the best thing. The universe wants you to take a new path. It wants you to take a spiritual path. You might even be some type of spiritual teacher or healer. It could be in a traditional way, such as being a counselor or a therapist or a nurse. It could be in a non-traditional way, doing tarot, doing Reiki healing, doing aura readings or whatever. And so you're needing to empower yourself. And I feel like that's what you've been working on lately, is realizing the strength that you have inside of you, the fact that your entire life has been leading you to this moment. I feel a big, big change for those of you guys who've chosen number 3. So this is the 5 of bows. Let's see if I can turn to it in the book. The Five of Bows reads, the mastery of any skill or discipline enables empowerment for clear and decisive mental process, and the arrows of one's desires and wishes can be loosened at destiny with positive effect. The time of self-empowerment by seizing the initiative is here. By channeling primal, fertile, and protective energies, the individual can evolve a grounded and assertive mindset and utilize this for effective growth and change. This is true not only for the individual, but also for society. It is the meaning of achieving one's destiny as a matter of choice, not by chance. The act of observing the particle changes the particle, and this raw, dynamic life force can be focused and deployed to influence situations in the practical world. Empowerment enables the individual to overcome negative self-images or destructive emotional addictions, and increases confidence by overcoming stigma or social handicaps. Empowerment is the key to the attainment of one's destiny and the feeling of spiritual fulfillment through a proactive and positive attitude to life. So it's so interesting to see the empowerment card right next to the insecurity card. And so I don't think I've ever seen them both together, these polar opposites right here. So it's telling me, like, this has been the struggle, this has been what you've been learning through this cycle and through this transit. And you're actually leaving this difficult time behind. That's what the Swan card means, like leaving a difficult time behind gracefully. And then this is the, like, you're being called to a new path card. So what I'm seeing is that you are learning how to make choices and how to not just go with whatever's falling into your lap and actually start to exert your will in this life. You're starting to learn how to co-create and to couple with the universe. So this is really about you making a choice. Do you want to stay in your situation or do you want something new? And I really do feel like if you stay in your situation, there will be some events that will happen that could cause it to break down, and it's going to force you to choose something new. So right now you have a choice, but in the future you might not. The universe could force your hand here. Either way, no matter what happens, you're going to be fulfilled. I also see something about a relationship, a romantic relationship, perhaps coming out from choosing this new path, or the relationship you're in actually being strengthened. And so what really stood out to me from this empowerment card is actually getting the opportunity to make this choice. I do see that. And having a grounded and assertive mindset. I also see that overcoming negative self-images. That's important here because there's part of you that has this belief that you're only good for certain things, that you're just average, that maybe you should just work at Chipotle or Taco Bell or something like that, and that's all you're good for. But if you empower yourself, you can create something beautiful for yourself. And I do feel like those of you guys that chose this one, you are being called to be an entrepreneur. There's some kind of business, some kind of cause or mission you have, and you're being called to just start working towards it. And if you need someone to help you with the legal aspect, search that out. The person will help you get your business license and help you with the legal aspect. If you need money, trust your intuition and search for ways to make the money to make this happen. If you need support, you will find the right people. You can't do it alone. There will be people that will be coming across this path to help you. And so don't just stop and give up because you don't have all the answers. I don't think anybody who starts a business has all the answers up front. I certainly didn't when I started my fashion styling business and when I started this tarot business, and you just need to take it day by day is the message that I'm getting. So you're being called to a new path. You're being called to a spiritual path. You've known for some time that you are supposed to do this thing when it comes to your career. But there is this insecurity that you've been battling because this might cause you to have to put yourself out there in the public eye, like take selfies or let people see who you are, maybe speaking, maybe writing, maybe managing a social media account. Maybe you think of yourself more as a private person, but to have a business, you're going to have to market yourself or market your product or your mission or your cause. And so I feel like that's where the hiccup is here, being afraid to kind of market yourself. And so I kind of want to get some more word on this. Money. You're really, really worried about money. And that's what's keeping you from starting. But one of my favorite spiritual advisors, Doreen Virtue, says, first you take action, then the money comes, then the support comes, then the help comes. So sometimes you're just being called to take a leap of faith and just start the thing before you have the money, before you have the sponsorship, before you have the funding, and just go for it. And I really see that it's not until you get this started, that you put the website up or you start the Instagram, or before you start working on the business plan, you're not going to get the money until you start that. And you're going to have to start some kind of momentum towards this. There are actually a lot of opportunities for you. If you're still worried about like, what am I supposed to do? Spend some time meditating on it. You're definitely like the snake right now that's shedding its skin. And I see that you're very talented. Those of you guys that chose this one, you're very, very talented. There's many things you can choose, and maybe that's what's overwhelming you. You're insecure, but at the same time, you're really talented and you can't make a choice. And so I do see that you need to choose a path. Choose one thing and just start working towards it. And it's like when you're walking down the forest. You're walking along in the forest, you see a path, you don't know which one to take, but intuitively you choose one. Maybe you get to an obstacle on that path and you make it through, and then you get to a certain point where you're just like, nah, you know what, this isn't the path for me. And that's okay. You just turn around, you go back to the fork in the road and choose another path. And it's not until you choose paths that you realize which one is your path. And maybe an obstacle that you came on the other path helps you learn how to overcome another obstacle on the next path. Maybe there's like a fallen tree trunk you learned how to climb around, and on the next path you see that tree trunk and you're like, oh, I know how to get through this. I just hop over it. It's no big deal, and I just keep going. So whatever path you choose is going to end up leading you to the right one. I always tell people, all paths lead to your truth. So choose a path and get going. I also see something about surrendering your will. I see here it's very difficult for you to focus and to really take charge of your career and to get assertive and take that action and to make a choice, because there's someone in your life. This could be a love partner, this could be an ex, that's keeping you stuck and draining a lot of your emotional energy. So they're telling you, whoever this person is, you need to let this person go. Whether it's just the memory of them or they're actually in your life still, like, you know who this is, you know who it is who's draining your energy. This part of the message may not apply to everybody, but to some of you guys who are watching, it's making it very difficult for you to hold your light and to manifest things. And once I got rid of toxic relationships in my life, things started manifesting at lightning speed. Money started coming, new friends who were supportive started coming, opportunities started coming, and I was just like, damn, like all I had to do was just let go of these toxic people. But it can be really hard as empaths, feeling like we got to please everybody, having a hard time saying no, having a hard time with boundaries. That's definitely something that you're being taught along this path, is how to say no to people and how to create the space to be able to work towards this plan. So let's go ahead and pull you some final cards on, now that you know all this, what should you actually do? What should you do that's going to help you? Ooh, 3 of Hearts. And 10 of Pentacles. This is a message about, once again, some kind of relationship you need to leave. And since it's 10 of Pentacles reversed, it's like something has decayed and you know what this is and you need to let it go. But then it's going to lead to a new romance. It's going to lead to something beautiful. So I feel like this message has a lot to do with this. Sometimes it's actually the people in your life that are holding you back from being able to move forward in your career and in your goals. So anything else I'm getting from this? 10 of Pentacles. This is the protection card. So they're telling you you're going to be supported and protected. And your wealth will be increased. A lot of status, a lot of influence coming into your future. Money through taking this risk. Great wealth can be yours, is what they're saying. And they're saying a relative or someone can be involved. So once again, maybe this is a relative that you need to let go of. Maybe there's someone in your past who raised you or who was around you, or like a sibling rivalry, or someone who's making you feel insecure, who's kind of got this in your head, and you're going to need to tackle that and kind of create some space emotionally from that. And then I'm also seeing here with the Three of Hearts that there's going to be some kind of great romance coming in your life that's going to be very inspiring for you. There will be a time of celebration. And they're saying there's going to be a lot of gratitude coming in for the life that you have. So keep going on this journey. I'm sending you so much love and light. I hope this reading resonated with you guys. If you would like to receive your own personal reading, head to promiseharmony.com/services. And for free, feel free to leave any suggestions for my pick a card readings below. If you have any topics that you want me to talk about in my pick a card readings, even if you're not able to purchase a reading from me, I still want to be able to help you in any way that I can. I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.